Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet video here on iStarly TV. Today we're doing another Battle Stadium singles battle on our road to Masters. I played a few games in between my previous video and this one, and I have a new team here, so I'll just kind of quickly run down the team I have here. Basically, if you see that third Pokemon there, that is my shiny Espathra. And my goal with Espathra is to set up, I don't know if I can check the summary of my team. I don't want to click yes just in case it throws me into a battle right away, but Espathra learns Stored Power, and it has Speed Boost as its hidden ability, and then it has Calm Mind and Roost as well. And so basically the goal with my Espathra is to set up Calm Minds, and then I'm getting gradual speed boosts, and then I can roost up any damage and sweep with Stored Power. That's kind of the main goal of the team and what I'm really trying to do with Espathra. And then the other Pokemon on my team are there to kind of try to help support it, clear out any problematic Pokemon for Espathra along the way. An issue I've discovered with this team is that I don't really have too many bulky Pokemon to switch into moves. So that's actually one issue that I have with the team, and one thing that I'm hoping I can fix in the future. As for the rest of the Pokemon, I have Choice Specs Dragapult and Choice Banded Meowscarada with Modest and Adamant natures respectively. So these are two of the fastest Pokemon in the metagame, and I actually do not have speed boosting natures on them, and the reason for that is just to hit as hard as possible. So a few Pokemon that have caused issues for this team are basically super bulky Pokemon with Unaware, such as Dondozo or Clodsire or Skeledirge, and then even Garganacl, which does not have Unaware, but it's super bulky. And so I found that Dragapult and Meowscarada are just capable of kind of blasting through those Pokemon with super high damage moves. And so that's the reason for those two Pokemon. I also really just love Choice Specs Dragapult. One other issue I found though is that really fast Pokemon end up being an issue for me, such as opposing Dragapults with Jolly or Timid natures. Those are actually some of the scariest Pokemon, so that's definitely something I need to work on with this team to kind of make it better. Maybe I can switch out Rotom or Goldango for a Pokemon that can take on Dragapult a little bit better, so that's probably something I'm going to be working on. I have Scarf Goldango, but it's actually a Modest nature, which means that Jolly Dragapult will outspeed me. And then I finally have Rotom there. Well, actually, I have Rotom there with Nasty Plot, Lumberry, and I wanted it to be Terra Electric, because when you Terra into an electric type, you actually don't have any weaknesses as Rotom, which is pretty awesome. But I don't have enough electric Terra shards, to be honest, so right now it's a Ghost Terra type. I caught it as a shiny, in the regular form as a Ghost and electric type, and then there's a 50-50 chance it would have electric Terra or Ghost Terra. And of course I end up getting the Ghost Terra one. And then finally we have Garchomp with the Focus Sash. The goal with this Garchomp is to set up Stealth Rock, and then I have Dragon Tail as well to kind of get rid of Pokemon that are trying to set up. And then I of course have Earthquake, because you always have that on Garchomp. And then I have Terra Blast with a Fire Terra type on Garchomp, which has been pretty useful for me as well. So let's just go ahead and jump right in now. All right, we found an opponent here. I'm almost at Great Ball rank. I know I can do it. If I just play a lot and grind, I will get there. My opponent's team is definitely scary. I have Lumberry on Rotom mainly for Breloom, which is another Pokemon that causes me issues. Although I also have Goldango as well, so that's good. But again, my opponent has the two Pokemon that I'm most afraid of, Meowscarada and Dragapult. Of course, I have those two myself, but like I said, mine are not speed positive nature, so I'm a little scared of this battle here. I definitely want to bring Garchomp with the Focus Sash. I also fear that my opponent might bring Breloom though, and I think I have Dark Pulse on this Rotom, which honestly is really bad, because that means that their Breloom's actually going to be able to take every hit from my Rotom. So that's actually a big flaw in my team as well. I think I used to have Cyclizar. Oh, well, I have Goldango too. Okay, well, I think I'm going to bring Garchomp and then Goldango. I honestly don't think this is going to be a battle where Espathra can sweep. Maybe it can. I'm tempted. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna bring it. We're gonna see. It has decent matchups. If I can get up Stealth Rock in the face of Breloom, that'll break its Sash, because Breloom usually does have Focus Sash. But also I think Breloom typically runs Bulldoze, which is good for against Goldango. So basically, the Pokemon that I have to take on their Pokemon are kind of destroyed by certain things, certain other things that my opponents have. And that always happens where they start in the floor. Okay, so they lead with their Garchomp and I lead with mine. I wouldn't be surprised if we both just go Stealth Rock here. But as annoying as them getting up Stealth Rocks will be, it's important because, again, if my opponent has Breloom, then I'd rather be able to break a potential Focus Sash from that. And so, yeah, we both get up our Stealth Rock as I predicted. This should be a speed tie. I am a jolly nature with max speed IVs, or I'm sorry, EVs, well, and IVs as well. So that was just a speed tie there. And here, I'm just going to go for the Earthquake. I could go Dragon Claw, but, oh wow, they set up a Swords Dance. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to go for Earthquake. This might just be a 2-hit KO, which is actually probably pretty bad for my opponent that they just went for that there. Unless my opponent's a Terra Flying type, which I actually doubt would be the case. I'm just going to go Dragon Tail now, just in case they go for like a random Terra type that'll, like a Fairy Terra type, or not Fairy, sorry, Flying Terra type or something that'll eat my Earthquake. And also just in case they switch out, knowing that I'm about to 2-hit KO them. And we end up both going down here. So had I gone for the Earthquake, this actually would have been a much better exchange for me because I would still be alive, obviously. But I think this ends up being a decent trade for us. Now let's take a look at what they have. Oh, we can't look at their team here. Let's see. I want to go into, I think if I go into Goldango and they go into Meowscarada, that ends up being decent. Basically, if I go into Goldango, it's good for me if they go into either Meowscarada or Breloom, because Goldango can handle those two decently. But the thing is, if they go into almost anything else, that's bad for me. Although they also have Garganacl. Oh man, this is tough. The thing is, if I go Goldango here and they go Dragapult, I'm in a really bad situation there. But I'm gonna do that. They go Hydreigon, which is cool. Okay, I'm actually really happy about this. I think I just go for Make It Rain here. I mean, I guess I'm not that happy about this. I'm going to go for Make It Rain here. So actually, Espathra would have been a great switch. Espathra typically struggles against Hydreigon, but actually I have a Steel Terra type with Espathra as well as Dazzling Gleam. So I'd be able to actually set up in the face of this. Oh, you know what? They might go Terra. I should have... This was really bad on my part. I should have expected this. If they go Terra Steel, this is awful for me. Oh, wow, they go Terra Dark. Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, so in that case, this is fine. So I'm going to go Make It Rain. I'm going to do a lot of damage to them. I don't think I'll kill... Oh, wow, they're actually faster. Okay, so they are Choice Scarfed. So, yikes. Well, okay, that's a lot of damage right there. So now I know they're Choice Scarfed. I might just lose this battle if they flinch me, but what I'm going to do here is go into Espathra and I'm going to Terra, which of course will mean that I take neutral damage from the Dark Pulse, which is, I mean, that's not great for me. I do have max HP for what it's worth though. And then I'm just going to, I think I have to go for the Roost here and hope that they don't flinch me with Dark Pulse or even crit for that matter. But even then I might end up losing this battle. But my out here, my way of winning the game is to basically, you know, get 2 speed boosts. Once I'm at 2 speed boosts, I'm going to be faster than them. And then I can maybe set up some Calm Minds, depending on how much damage this does. I know they're Scarf and not Choice Specs. That does so much damage, though. That does probably too much damage, but I'm pretty sure I can live a second Dark... actually, I'm not sure I can, honestly. Luckily, I have leftovers, though. I guess if I had had Wiki Berry, which I originally had, I would have taken that a lot better. But yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I think I have to go for Roost again. There's a chance I just die right here, though. If they... I mean, they might just knock me out right here. I did survive the first one. Okay, I barely survive, and now I do get off a Roost. And really importantly, I am now faster than them. So there's a chance we might be able to turn this around. I'm going to set up a Calm Mind here, which is a little bit greedy, but we're at +2 speed. I'm pretty sure we're faster than them. I'm pretty sure. And we are. That is great. So now I get to set up the Calm Mind, and that means I should be able to live this Dark Pulse. And at that point, I'm just going to kind of basically alternate between Roost and Calm Mind until I'm at like the maximum, you know, boosts that I can get. Of course, I do need to be afraid of a potential critical hit by them. And if they do crit me, that's going to be game over. But, you know, that's a risk I have to take. Like, I don't think I can win this battle without setting up Calm Minds, without setting up my special attacks. So now I can go for Roost. I will, unless it's a critical hit, I will be able to take a Dark Pulse from this this Hydreigon now. And I'm just going to kind of keep, like I said, I guess, actually, okay, yeah, well, I guess I have to keep going for Roost then until I'm at a decent health. Dazzling Gleam will not one-hit KO. Well, it might one-hit KO them, but the thing is, you know, if they had not Terra'd, if they were a regular Dragon Dark type, Dazzling Gleam would of course be 4 times super effective, but now that they are just a Dark type, they might actually take it a little bit better. Yeah. We'll see how much this does. I might be able to survive a second one if I go for Calm Mind here. Ooh, that's going to be cutting it really close though. This is scary. And of course I am running out of Roosts, but at least this time I should be able to take a hit. Like I'm gonna Roost get up to close to full health and then take a Dark Pulse. And then at that point I should be able to go for the Calm Mind here. This is really scary. And again, I'm kind of inviting a crit here by just taking up so many turns. And obviously that's the one thing I'm terrified of, is them getting a critical hit. But like I said, I don't think I can win this game if I'm not setting up. Like if I had just gone for like maybe 2 Dazzling Gleams in a row against this Hydreigon, I am not sure I can end up winning the game at the end of the day, because I'm just not going to be too boosted. How much are they doing? I think if I Calm Mind here, I can live, but I'm just going to go for another Roost. I need to be really careful though. Yeah, I think I'm at +2 special defense, right? I should have checked right there. So now I'm at full health. So now I'm pretty sure I can set up a Calm Mind and then live another Dark Pulse. But these Dark Pulses are doing so much damage. I mean, Hydreigon hits really hard. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, but looks like what I'm going to have to do here is go for the Calm Mind right now. I'm only at +1. Okay. Go for the Calm Mind right now and then survive the Dark Pulse and then basically I think Roost twice. And at that point, just go for the Dazzling Gleam. I mean, yeah. We'll see what happens. They're communicating. Hopefully things don't get goofed up here. I am taking a long time though, so I hope I don't run out of time. I shouldn't though. And judging by their last Pokemon, I do have Dazzling Gleam for the Meowscarada, although that's another scary one. If their last one is Meowscarada, I could possibly lose if my Dazzling Gleam does not do enough to it to take it out. So this is some scary stuff. If their last is Garganacl, I wipe it out though, unless they have Sturdy. And if their last is Dragapult, I should knock it out. And Breloom? Actually, Breloom could have a Focus Sash. Okay, you know what? There's a few ways we can lose this fight. This game is not over yet, but I guess we're doing our best here. If their last one's Breloom, I actually think I might lose the game, which is pretty funny. But it's okay. We at least got to show off what Espathra can do. And that is what matters most. I think I could Calm Mind here if I want to get really greedy. The thing is, I don't think it's going to matter at this point. I think I need to go for this Roost. And I don't think it matters how many more Calm Minds I go for, because if their last one is Focus Sash... Wait, actually, I forgot. Well, I was going to say, I forgot. There's Stealth Rock up, so if Breloom's Focus Sash, it'll break the Focus Sash. But Breloom, of course, should have a Mach Punch, which will kill me. So, although I am max HP, max defense, we will see. All right, so I'm going to go for the Dazzling Gleam now. If it does not kill Hydreigon, then we should live another Dark Pulse. Okay, it does kill though. Okay. All right, so depending on who their last one is, that'll determine whether we win or lose. Obviously, if it's Breloom, we probably lose. If it's anything else, I actually think we win. I guess unless it's Meowscarada. If it's Meowscarada, we might lose. Let's see what it is, everyone. Let's see what our fate is looking like. Dragapult. Okay. So I think we should be able to one-hit KO this thing. Oh, and even if they have priority in the form of Sucker Punch or Shadow Sneak, we will take that because we are a Steel type, so it's not going to be super effective. And with all our boosts, I think, let's see, we have 6, 7, 8, we have 10 boosts. So I think Stored Power is a 220 base power stab move, and we are at +2. So that's an easy knockout, and that is a beautiful game there. Our first game we get to win with the Espathra. I feel like the games that I've won with Espathra have been just like this, where it's really back and forth, you know, things are looking really bad for us, and then we get kind of that last ditch sweep going, and that's just so much fun. I love this set so much. It reminds me of in Sword and Shield, I was using Cresselia with a very similar set, Calm Mind, Stored Power, Dazzling or Moonblast, and like Recover. Cresselia is extremely bulky compared to Espathra, but Espathra has Speed Boost, which gives you a free boost every turn to boost your stored power. So it's kind of a trade-off there, but that was a fun game. Let's get another one. Got another battle here, and my opponent's team is really interesting. They have a mono fire type team, which means, of course, I'm going to be happy to get up Stealth Rock with my Garchomp. Another thing, though, to keep in mind is that despite the fact that they are a mono type team, they are very likely to have interesting Terra types, and that's something that I'm going to have to be afraid of, is like, what will they Terra into, and how will they try to thwart me? How will they try to thwart me in trying to stop them? So I think what I'm just going to go for is I like these 4 Pokemon here. Obviously, I cannot bring all 4 of them. These 2 obviously are weak to fire moves, so I don't want to bring them. And like I said, I want to lead with Chomp because I have Stealth Rock, and with the Focus Sash, I should be able to take on everything that they have. I really like Espathra here. I'm afraid of that Volcarona, actually. I'm really terrified of Volcarona. Rotom is good at being bulky. Skeleturge is a threat as well, though, so that's gonna... Skeleturge is actually really good against Espathra, so I will go ahead and... I like Dragapult because it's fast and it can blast through them. They actually might lead with Torkoal. I'm gonna go Espathra. Whatever. We're trying to showcase Espathra in this game, in this video, and so let's bring it again. I think there's pros and cons to bringing Espathra and bringing Rotom there. Obviously, Rotom's a water type, but its main water stab is Hydro Pump, which can possibly miss. And also, of course, as I said, it's possible that they'll have some Terra types to try to take on the water type. So I don't know, maybe Rotom was the safer bet, but Espathra is the more fun answer there. They lead with their Tauros, who will likely have Intimidate. I'm going to lead with my Garchomp. I think it's just so critical that I get up Stealth Rock here that's just what I'm going to go for turn 1, even at the risk of like dying to this Tauros. Obviously, I do have Focus Sash, so even if they go for a really powerful move, they're not going to one-hit KO me, but you know, it's scary. I think I'm faster. Yeah, I'm naturally faster than Tauros, so I can just go for the Earthquake after this. I do have -1 attack, so it's not going to be doing that much damage. And I think Tauros is actually decently bulky. Okay, they actually go for Will-O-Wisp. Had I predicted it, there was a chance I could have gone for the Terra Fire to become immune to Will-O-Wisp. But I think burning my Terra this early is actually probably a big drawback for me. And like Terra Choice Specs Dragapult could be really, really strong. Here, what I'm actually going to do is go for the Dragon Tail, wondering if they're going to try to set up. They actually go for Earthquake, though. I think I might take it. Because, yeah, oh, I take that really well. It looks like their Tauros is probably more of a support Tauros or something like that. But it goes back to them, and that's something I'm going to need to be aware of for the future. I think it's a fire and fighting type. But, of course, I'm going to want to be wary of what it could terrestrialize into. They go right into Volcarona, though, and my attack stat is really low. So I think what I'm going to have to do here is just go for the Dragon Tail and hope that they kill me. The problem is if they have Substitute, that is going to be absolutely terrifying for me. So we're going to see what happens here. Volcarona is one of the scariest Pokemon in this meta because it can just set up. If Volcarona starts setting up, sometimes it's almost impossible to kill and it just hits so hard. So they are Terra Grass, which is typically the case with Volcarona. If I survive a hit and land my Dragon Tail, then that's going to be excellent for me. But they do have the Substitute. That is terrifying. So I'm going to hopefully break their sub here. We're going to see. I don't. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we have a potential out here. I get to switch into Dragapult, who has Infiltrator, and hope that I survive a hit, a +1 hit from a super powerful Volcarona. By the way, the Substitute doll is flying, which is kind of funny. So I have Infiltrator, which should break through the Substitute and kill them. I mean, if it kills them, they're going to be at +1 special defense. I think, let me actually double check that I have Infiltrator though, because if I don't, then I think it's GG, honestly. I hope this video doesn't end with a Volcarona sweep. So let's go ahead and check Dragapult. I do have Infiltrator, which should hit through the Substitute. I think I have to go Draco. I think I have to Terra and go Draco here. and hope I don't miss. The reason I'm going Draco Meteor is because it's basically a guaranteed kill. I think it's probably overkill if I'm being honest, but I'm not going to want to Terra my Espathra in this game because it's a Steel Terra and they have a Fire type team. And so I think this is just kind of my best bet for right now. I need to survive a hit from them, but I should. Oh, they just go for another Quiver Dance. Wow. Okay, so now I'm a little bit more happy that I went for the Terra there because they're at +2 special defense now, and they might either forget that I have Infiltrator or just maybe they're calling my bluff here. But this should kill them if I'm understanding Infiltrator correctly. Yes, it does. Perfect. Beautiful. Like I said, that Volcarona was an absolute terrifying threat. The issue here, though. Wow. Okay. So they go into their Armarouge there, and I go right back into Garchomp, even though I'm burned. I'm a little afraid of this thing, although if their Armarouge is scarfed, then they're at this point locked into Acid Spray. They do go for the Acid Spray there, which I'm happy about. I get to go for the Earthquake, which should do a lot of damage. I should be faster, and if I'm not, like I said, then that means they're scarfed, which means they're going to be locked into Acid Spray. So either way, I take this as like a win-win. They are weak armor, though, which is admittedly scary. So that's going to lower their defense but boost their speed. And then they're going to take me out here with the Psychic. I think I'm okay, though. I'm trying to think. Okay, Espathra. I mean, their best move that they used in the face of my Dragapult was actually Acid Spray. So I think I'm actually okay to just go into Dragapult here and just go for the Shadow Ball, which will be super effective. They did already Terrastalize this game, so I think I'm in a really good spot. They are at +1 speed, but even if they have like Shadow Ball, I don't know if it gets Shadow Ball. I think it does. I think I can live. Wow, I'm just faster anyways. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so this should be my game, I think, because they have Tauros, who's taken a little bit of damage at this point, and I don't think Tauros can really do too much to Dragapult anyway, although their fighting type moves will hit me because I am not a ghost type anymore. But I think I'm in a good spot here, even if Dragapult goes down, which I don't think will be the case. I have Espathra in the back, who is a psychic type and can probably take any hit from their Tauros and probably knock it out with stored power, so, or even Dazzling Gleam for that matter. And yes, I do knock out their Tauros. Thankfully, that was a very scary game. Again, very back and forth. Unfortunately, I didn't get to use Espathra in this game, but that was a really fun one. And yeah, I enjoyed that. My opponent's team was also really cool. You can tell they like fire types. They have a picture with Mela right there, so that's pretty cool. I appreciate what my opponent's doing, but that is going to be it for this battle. Let me know if you like me doing 2 battles per video, or maybe if you'd like me to do even more, maybe 3. But either way, this was a lot of fun. I really, really like this team. But like I said, I think there's a lot of very clear weaknesses that I need to work on. So I'm just going to kind of hop back over to the team in my battle box so I can kind of take a little bit of a closer look and talk about where to go from here. But my hope is that each video I do for this series, I have a different team to show off. It probably ends up meaning that I'll have kind of some of the same Pokemon, some of the overlapping Pokemon. But if I had to make changes to this team, you know, like I said, the 2 Pokemon I'm probably most terrified of are going to be opposing Dragapults and Meowscaradas with these speed boosting natures. Also, Volcarona, as we saw in that battle, is a scary one, and Breloom. So those are 4 Pokemon I really want to take on. And Goldango is good against Breloom, but although at the same time, Breloom does typically run Bulldoze as well, which is why I've seen Goldangos with Air Balloon. So I wonder if there's a possibility that I run a Goldango with Air Balloon. Maybe. I don't know. That sounds kind of weird, but also it kind of makes sense. There's also Rotom. I like this Rotom a lot, and of course it's shiny, so I want to show it off, but it is also kind of awkward. I mean, maybe if it's an electric Terra type, that's even better, but this is another Pokemon where I have Lumberry to kind of, you know, take spores from Breelooms, but then I have no follow-up against Breloom, so maybe I should give it a psychic type move to take on Breloom, or even like a ghost type move and keep the ghost Terra type. That's an option as well. I really like this Garchomp set a lot. I mean, Garchomp's amazing, and in the past when I've tried to use it, it's been a little awkward sometimes, but this set feels really good to me. Obviously, Dragon Tail is kind of like my little innovation here. Usually Garchomps run Outrage, but the scary thing about Outrage, of course, is that you're locked into it, which can be bad with a lot of Steel types and even Fairy types running around. And with Terra types being a thing, basically anyone could be a Steel or Fairy type, but I love this Garchomp set. I love Espathra. It's awesome. If you want to use it, I highly recommend it. It's beautiful. It's shiny. Its hidden ability is Speed Boost, and that's definitely the route you want to go. Although one of its regular abilities is called Opportunist, which copies opponent's stat boosts. So if your opponent like sets up speed, sets up with their speed, then you'll copy it. So that could be an option as well if you don't want to run Speed Boost, but I think Speed Boost is just so solid. But Opportunist can also be a fun one for Volcarona, maybe. That would be a fun one. If you want to build an Espathra set that can take on Volcarona, maybe your Terra type could be like Fire at that point, because you'd resist most of Volcarona's moves, and you could threaten it that way. So that'd be really interesting. And then I just love Dragapult. It's one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 8, and it's still just one of my favorite Pokemon. This set is probably my favorite. I'm modest choice specs, which hits really, really hard. I know that's like a little unconventional, but I just love this set. I've had the most success with this set. Even when I try like Jolly Dragapult with offensive, like physical moves like Dragon Darts, that doesn't always work for me. I just really prefer this set personally. Then I have Meowscarada, who I changed to an Adamant nature. I didn't get to show it off this battle, but it's a solid Pokemon. It hits really hard, and it's a real threat in this metagame. I've also seen Choice Scarf on Meowscarada, which is a good option. You're already really fast though, so you don't need that. I've also seen Focus Sash on Meowscarada, which is really, really good for living a hit and like getting off 2 flower tricks or something like that. And then there's Goldango, who I used in my other video. This is the same exact Goldango for my team in my previous video, and it's just a great Pokemon, I think. I think it's just a good one to be using. So threats I want to work on are taking on Breloom, probably taking on Volcarona, and then Dragapult and Meowscarada. That's a lot of threats right there, but I think there's probably some threats that I could like consolidate. Like maybe Grass type Dundazo could be a great one at taking on a lot of those, because it's super bulky, and if it's a Grass type, it's immune to Spore, and yeah. Although at that point it becomes weak to Volcarona, which is scary. But I did originally have Dundazo on this team, and I just didn't love it, so I took it off for Rotom. But anyways, that's my team, and that's my battle. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. If you're interested in using this team yourself, let me know, and I can actually make a team code and post it in the description. So if anyone happens to be interested in using this team for themselves, let me know. But like I said, I do feel like there are some kind of glaring weaknesses, but hopefully I gave you a decent rundown on how to use the team, and I'm looking forward to doing more Battle Stadium singles videos. So thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.